Hello friends, welcome back. I was just starting to open a few PR packages and I feel like I should do it with you guys. It's so much more fun. And because we're like deep in wedding planning now, I have no money. I have negative monies, in fact. Oh, my mom's calling me. Well, I already opened these. I was like literally at UPS and I couldn't wait. But YSL sent me a black opium and then a candy glazed lip balm. It's just clear. I put it on already. But anyway, as I was saying, I can't shop. I can't buy a damn thing. I literally just returned something at Joanna Fabrics for $6. Which like doesn't sound crazy, but I'm not a returner unless it's like a bit like something, you know, $50 or more. And it's not like, I don't have money like that anyway. So it's not like I should be a returner if something doesn't work. I'm just like lazy. But you know, we met with a financial advisor just because of all like the wedding stuff. And she helped like kind of get us organized. And I'm just like thinking about finances now and I'm like trying to be responsible. And so not shopping. I bought like a $5 like needle threader thing. It was the wrong thing. So I'm like, I'm taking it back. And it's like, I drove all the way over there and I'm like proud of myself. Anyway, so now this is how I get my retail therapy now. Glow recipe, I'll be honest. I've not really tried much of Glow recipe and that's because my friend Kevin loves it. And so anytime I've been on their PR list for a while and I hope they don't see this and then stop it. But he loves it so much that whenever anything comes in, I gift it to him and I've just been keeping him stocked up. So thank you, Glow Recipe, and Kevin thanks you as well. They sent their Plum Hyaluronic Serum, which actually I have used that and that is really good. A gloss bomb. Ooh, maybe I'll keep that. And then the Plum cream. Do I need another hydration balm? Absolutely not. So maybe, you know, this will just, Kevin will appreciate it. I'm just a sucker for a lip balm, what can I say? All right, we've got something from One Kind. A little bag, what's in here? Got Glow Getter Serum, Ferulic and Hyaluronic Acid. This sounds great. This is up my alley. I like the packaging. Are they like rebranding? What's this? It's like a little tin. What have we got? Little eye patches. So cute. And then, what else? A little night cream and an eye complex. All right, I could use all of that because I'm getting some fine lines and I'm not happy about it. Glossier sent something. I have no clue what this could be. I haven't gotten a Glossier package in so long. But Glossier has been on my mind because I'm gonna make a TikTok today about the Glossier You perfume. And like everyone, I feel like on my For You page is just like non-stop. People are tagging me and like people saying that it's been reformulated and it smells different. And I disagree. I think it has been reformulated. Not fully reformulated. New sticker. This actually works because I got a new phone not that long ago. This doesn't look good though. Anyway. I think it hasn't been fully reformulated. What happened was, oh, they sent a hat, but it's mirrored. So I can't. This is mirrored, I think. But like, when I look at it, it's backwards. That's interesting. I do love a good baseball cap. Anyway, there was an ingredient that like, that Europe banned. And it was in Glossier You. And so I think because they sell it in Europe, they had to take it out and replace it. So they just tweaked it a little. But they said that the smell is the same. Everyone's saying it's different. I have a new bottle. And let me tell you, I've been wearing this since it launched and it's been one of my absolute faves. I'm obsessed with it. It smells exactly the same. It performs the same. Like, I don't notice a difference, and I think everyone's kind of like crazy, no offense. But like, anyway, so I was gonna make a TikTok about that. So, oh yeah, sorry. They sent Future Dew and Invisible Shield. Why? I don't like, I haven't gotten Glossier PR in so long. I feel like they stopped doing that. So I'm like a little confused of like what's going on. But thank you. I mean, I love it. Okay, it looks like we've got something from Maine, which I just did. I just worked with them on their launch of their new blow dryer. So let's see what we got here. This is Jen Atkins' company. It's like hair tools. Oh, I should have like, oh, I need to get a knife. Anyway, I'm like really excited to show you what we've done with wedding planning stuff. And I found my dress. Okay, we'll get into that in a second. So much to talk about. I think the last video was us going to see our venue. Okay. No offense, but like, I don't like when brands do this. I don't need that, you know? Ooh! What does this have to do with Maine? Are these sunglasses? Desi sunglasses, and then Unseen Sunscreen. I love Supergoop. Wow. Are these cute? I don't know if they're me. You tell me. Can I rock them? Okay, anyway, the color is really beautiful. It's like a peach. Okay, let me clean this up actually, and then I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. The worst part about getting PR is cleaning up. I'll be completely honest. Okay, so we are trying to, we're like every wedding, we're over budget. And so we're really trying to like cut corners in some areas that are like less important. And one of those is like the rentals, like the stuff we need to rent, like glassware, linens, like tables, all that. So to rent the napkins, I think the ones we wanted, which were like the linen, were gonna be $1.40 per napkin, and we were just like, ugh, can't do that. So the cheapest ones were $1 a napkin, and they were the white polyester, which is fine. It's like not a big deal, but like, you know, it would have been a nice way to like elevate the table settings. So I was like, I was just seeing what I could find online. But it was near impossible to find any napkins for under $1, especially like a nice soft like cotton or like a stonewashed linen. So I was looking on the marketplace and I found 100% like soft cotton napkins that someone was selling, and I got them for $70. So that came out to like 70 some cents a napkin, and I dyed them and I'm embroidering them. So like, you guys are gonna die. Ignore this blue ink. That's washable ink that we were using to trace, to trace where to embroider, and it just rubs off with water, but I just haven't done it all yet. Okay, so the blue napkins with the red maybe. This is supposed to say groom. I messed up. Anyway. It keeps getting better. I've done so many already. I taught Ted how to do it last night so that he could help. And so now we're like speed racers. So cute. And we've been just designing them ourselves. Like Ted designed this one, and this one, and this one. This is what we're gonna, this is a napkin for our friend Chelsea, who's officiating, and she's who introduced us. my mom, me. So we're anticipating like 80 guests. But between you and me, I'm really hoping for less, you know what I mean? But that's like kind of the numbers. That's why I dyed 80 of them. And I don't know if I'm gonna embroider 80, although like the wedding isn't until next May, so I certainly could. I've already done 24. So I think I might actually. But not all of them will like say something, like some will just be like a little like design, a little heart, our initials, like that kind of stuff. But man, it's been a blast. I'll tell you right now, like I've just been addicted to like at night watching TV and just embroidering. And now I'm so happy. So like, okay, let me paint you a little picture of our table settings. Maybe. She's been relentless lately. She's so cute. Oh, sorry. I just kind of dropped her. So we're gonna have like, our plates are gonna be vintage floral with like kind of like that like real retro. It really looks similar to my mom's wedding china. And I would love to use that, but there's not enough. But maybe I could use some. Anyway, I'll revisit that thought. Anyway, save some money. Okay. So it's like vintage floral, like all kind of different colors, like kind of like pastel-y. Then the napkins. And then I'm gonna have different vases that I make. I'm gonna make them all. And so they're all gonna be like different colors, different shapes. And then I'm gonna have the red anemones is gonna be our flower. And so we're not doing wedding colors. Like it's just gonna be like a bunch of stuff that looks good. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm not having like a theme. And then the water glasses are all gonna be different color as well, different colored glasses. So like our renter guy like has a lot of like vintage stuff, mismatch. And so it's all gonna be like kind of a mismatch of that. And so I think it's gonna be really pretty. Like once I got the napkins, I was like, it's gonna be cute. And I saved money, like what a rush. So it's like we're getting like the exact look we were wanting, but for even cheaper than the polyester ones. And then we get to keep them. We're not gonna, what are we gonna do with 80? Maybe some people will take them like as like a party favor or whatever. Then we'll have some like for, you know, when we host holidays and stuff. My goddamn battery's dying. Okay, sorry, I was just talking to nobody and thought I was recording. Anyway, so that's kind of like where we are right now. We're also just like, I don't know, I thought wedding planning would be like a lot more interesting than it is. It's just like a lot of logistics. Right now we're deciding, I think we just chose the catering for the reception and the rehearsal dinner. And so that's exciting. And yeah, those are all like the main parts. So now it's just about like, now I've just been thinking a lot about like, how I want everything to look. Anyway, I found my dress. And I was so surprised. I did not expect to find it so soon. I've been like a mess about it because, you know, I've gained a lot of weight in the past couple of years and it's just like been really hard to get used to. Like I don't feel like myself. And the thought of like picking out a wedding dress when like it's already so hard to just find like everyday clothes has been like, I've just been putting it off. And so I was really nervous, but you know, people kept just kind of like making me nervous because they're like, you know, they can take a really long time to make and you gotta like get in there and you gotta figure out, because I thought like, what if I can't find something I like? And I don't want to be like race against the clock, you know? So, so I had an appointment scheduled in Philly for when we go home, because remember we had to reschedule our engagement party. So we're going in July because the Outer Banks trip we go on with Ted's family every year is in July this year. And so we're like, okay, we'll just pop over to Philly for a few days after, because it's like a 6-hour drive from there, rather than having to like do another flight, which we can't afford right now. So we're like tack it all on. So we're doing that. So I was like, okay, I'll do my wedding dress shopping with my mom. There's a really cool bridal shop. Anybody Philly based, check out Kinfolk. Kinfolk. They're new, they're really cool, size inclusive, sustainable, just like really cool like fashion girly dresses. And I just thought for sure I'll find my dress there. And anyway, so then I was like looking online and I saw this like one dress by Waters that I really liked, and it is size inclusive. And so I was like on their retail site, and it says one of the retailers that possibly have it, it's here in LA. So I emailed them and was just like, hey, do you have this dress in my size? And they were like, no, but we'll have the brand courier it over because it's at like another location or whatever. So then she's like, when do you want to come in? I was like, I guess I'll just go in and try on the dress, like why not, you know, rip off the band-aid. And she was like, well, let's just like make it a thing, and I'll pull a couple other dresses. And so I brought two of my friends, I had my mom on FaceTime, you know, just like have that experience and like some moral support. And I did end up liking the Waters one. We all liked it. Like we were like, this could be it. But it wasn't like, it didn't like send us over the edge, you know what I mean? Like we were all just kind of like, yeah, this works. Fourth dress I tried on, I was like, this is it, we're done. I'm done. I felt, and so like if you're feeling, because a lot of people were relating to how I'm feeling, they also got engaged or they're going to be getting married or whatever, and they're just feeling really nervous about it because of like weight gain or just nervous about the try-on experience. I will say I didn't feel like I had run of the store. Like it wasn't like anything I could try anything on, because most of the samples were like 10s, which is really like a 6 or an 8, which is crazy. They should all be like size 18s and then pin them, because whatever. Anyway, but just reaching out to her ahead of time, she knew my size, and so she had stuff pulled from me. You know what I mean? Based on like what I said I liked and based on what I would be able to put on physically. And so that just helped kind of eliminate any like kind of heartbreaking experience. Although there was one dress that I like, we tried, and it started like, you could hear the seams ripping, and we were like, okay, no more. And so if every experience was like that, that would have been terrible, but it wasn't. Every other dress I was able to put on, and like they just like kind of pinned and did whatever. Anyway, the dress I picked, I was shocked at how I thought, best case scenario, and this is how I felt with the Waters one, I felt good, but like it highlighted my stomach, and I just kind of was like, this is what it is. You know, it's just like I thought I for sure the wedding day would come around and I would just think, I wish I was thinner, and I would just have to live with that, you know? I don't feel that way in my dress. And I think that's how, like, don't settle. Because I thought I had to, and I feel so good in my dress. Like, I don't feel like self-conscious at all, and it didn't even fit. And it just like, it's so flattering on my body. It makes me feel and look so good from every angle. Because that's another thing, like take pictures from the side. Like it's like, because you don't want to get your photos back and be like, oh, I don't like that. I don't like how I look from that angle. Anyway, it's so beautiful. It literally looks like a tablecloth, but in like the best way. And it has sleeves, and it's like very royal. Like I was like, literally put it on and I was like, I'm Princess Diana. It's like Pride and Prejudice. Like it so fits the venue and me and like my vibe, and like I'm obsessed, and I can't wait for you guys to see it. So like now that I have the dress, I'm like, I could get married tomorrow. Like I just was feeling so nervous about it because of how it would feel. Like I'll marry Ted any day of the week at any time, but like the performance of the wedding was making me so nervous because I don't feel confident. And now that I have my dress and I feel so good in it and I love it, I'm like, I can't wait to twirl around in front of everybody, you know? And so that just took so much of the pressure off. So if my best advice is like, just rip the band-aid off, do it. I think you'll be surprised. But just like being plus size, it takes planning ahead. That's all. But yeah, so that's kind of what's been going on wedding wise. Don't worry, first of all, if you're into the wedding content, there's gonna be some, and if you're not into the wedding content, I'm not gonna like become just like wedding, you know, channel or wedding TikTok or whatever. I'm just kind of like anything interesting that's going on with the wedding, I'm like, I should make a post or an update about it, because so much of it is so not interesting at all. It's like Ted and I just sitting in front of the computer just like, do we need spoons? No. You know what I mean? It's like, it's so stupid. But our save the dates just went out too. And I'm really happy. Anyway, but I did have a little like, anyway, I'm really panicked at how big, like we sent a lot of save the dates, but since it is a destination, it's surely going to eliminate a bunch. But like we were looking down the list and we're like, when you look at the list, you can't eliminate these people. You know what I mean? Because you're like, oh my God, I love them. Of course I want them at my wedding. But you just kind of hope that decisions will be made for you and that really there'll be 60 people there. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I don't want to decide who the 60 is, but I just hope there is 60 because I just don't want it to be big. Anyway. So some other updates. I'm also doing like a little medication switcheroo journey, and the reason is that I just, you know, I did this journey like 5 years ago, and because like I had like a real like mental crisis where I felt like my medication wasn't helping me anymore, but it was like all sudden, right? Like it was just like, it was a sudden change. I was on Cymbalta for 15 years and it was like literally my miracle drug. It just pulled me out of the depths many times over 15 years, you know, like there was a couple times, like I was really obsessed with like the idea of not being on medication when I was like younger, and so there was a couple times where I like tried to get off and then ultimately had to go back on when like my brain malfunctioned and like didn't produce any serotonin, and it would just, again, it would like, you know, the like TikTok song where it's like that Weekend song where it's like, you know, and people are doing that, but it's like, I don't know, this might be niche, but that's what it felt like. Every time I would go on Cymbalta, I was like, oh, I was coming alive, right? And it made me feel normal. Then 5 years ago, I had that like mental crisis, breakdown, whatever you want to call it. And it just wasn't working. We tried to up the Cymbalta, it wasn't doing anything. So ultimately we switched to Prestige, which is another SNRI, because I've only ever had SNRIs work for me. SSRIs don't do jack shit. I think I need the dual serotonin and norepinephrine, you know? Anyway, because I was on Effexor when I was young and that really worked, but it caused weight gain and tiredness. And then when I switched over to Cymbalta, I like dropped a ton of weight, and then I felt like really just normal, and like my normal, like I wasn't fatigued anymore. But still effective. Effexor effective, Cymbalta the best, and now Prestige, which is really similar to Effexor but doesn't have like the extra like side effects that Effexor kind of can have for some people, like tiredness, weight gain, whatever. Although part of me is like, is that why I gained weight? Who knows? Because like this is kind of like when it started happening, right? I haven't changed my eating, like nothing. I mean, we all kind of did in the pandemic, right? It's just hard to say. Anyway, so that's like in the back of my mind if like, if that was the cause. But the biggest reason is that I feel like Prestige really pulled me out of a dark time. Like I was really desperate. But Cymbalta, I love my metaphors, and when I think of these medications, I think of like an elevator, right? And Cymbalta, I gotta pan out so you can see. Cymbalta got me to the 10th floor, right? That's like at my best. Prestige has gotten me to like floor 7. You know what I mean? And so it's like, we're good, we're stable, we're functioning, but not optimally, and not at what I know is my best. And so I feel like I can't get all the way up there, you know? It's just kind of keeping me here. It hasn't been as effective with my OCD as Cymbalta was. My ticking is bad off and on. My OCD is just too loud to like, you know, it's just everything's harder, you know, than it has been in the past. It's just harder. It's harder to push past the anxiety. It's harder to push past the OCD. I feel like, again, like I'm stable, but I'm not thriving, and I want to be like, I'm not living, you know, I want to be like living, and I'm not. And so I just kind of made the tough decision, because it is always scary, because it's like, look, I could stay right here for the rest of my life, but like, what a waste. So I was like, I want to do something about it, even though it's really scary to do the new medication journey. And there's like that fear of like, well, if it ain't broke, but I'm like, just because it's not like terrible doesn't mean like I should have to settle. Anyway, so I've been like wanting to go back onto Cymbalta. And my doctor's been a little like hesitant. He's not against it, but he's just like, because it stopped working, I don't know if it, like, this 5-year break will like have done anything. I don't know. But in my mind, I'm like, SNRIs just like work for me. And if it worked for 15 years, I'm like, I don't know, maybe it was just a fluke. I don't really know. I'm not a doctor, and I don't really know how any of it works. But he was like, let's try something else. And I'm like, well, it's like the one that got away, you know? It's like I can't get it out of my mind. And like, that was my medication that like saved me until it didn't. But it's like, we had a good 15 years. So that's gotta mean something. I don't know. Anyway, long story short, he's like, okay, I say the easiest thing to do would be to try a little bit of Cymbalta, see how I react. If it doesn't do anything, then we just move on to something else. All the while not touching my Pristiq. So it's like I still have that like stable base. And we'll just try the smallest amount of medication. And if it starts to be effective, then we'll start doing the cross taper. You know what I mean? So I have to sneeze. Oh no. Oh no. It's gone. Anyway, I'm hopeful, but I'm also just a little like skeptical. Anyway, I started it yesterday, and it's just the tiniest dose. Like, it's not even, it's 20 milligrams, and I think they only have that pill for tapering off, so it's not even a therapeutic dose, so I don't feel any different. But I probably wouldn't start to feel different until 30 milligrams. But I was really expecting, like, because in the past when I've started Cymbalta, I felt really nauseous for the first day or two. And so I like went and got like pretzels, I got like sour candies and like club soda, like things that I like to have like when I'm feeling, when my stomach's upset. And I didn't feel any of that. But my theory is that it's because I'm already on an SNRI and they're really similar. Whereas like in the past when I've like come on to Cymbalta, it's been on to when I had no medication. I don't know. So, or maybe it doesn't do anything for me anymore. In which case I'm like, no! I just want it. I'm like, I want you back. It's like, I've never wanted an ex back in my life until now. But we'll see. So I'm normally when I start a new medication, I'm so anxious because I'm just looking for every little side effect, and like, it just causes so much anxiety. But I feel so relaxed because this is a been there, done that situation. I know like how I feel on it. And so that's why I wanted to try this first. It's because I'm like, if this works, then great. If it doesn't, then I'll do the hard stuff. But anyway, so that's what's happening. Fingers crossed. I really want it back. And I just like, I don't know, it's hard not to fantasize about just like, and then all my problems went away. Wouldn't that be nice? But yeah. You know, I think this is just for my life in general, but you know, the wedding is a big motivator. It's because like, it's just ultimately one day in my life, but it's a really important one, you know? And I just want to enjoy it. I want to not have anxiety. I want to not, like, I just don't, it's just like, living life is so hard. It's been hard the past 5 years. Harder than it has been. Like, you know, I traveled to London by myself. I moved across the country. You know, I did these things that I was scared of, and I always had anxiety and OCD. But there were times, like, I could get to these optimal points in my life where I was really living. And I haven't felt like I could get there in these past 5 years. So, like, it's like I have like a, what's the word I'm thinking of? Like a block. And I can't get beyond it, you know? No matter how hard I try. So I just want to be able to do that. I want to be able to, like, really live. I really miss living. I don't got shit to do today, I'll be honest. I have like one gig, but I don't have to do anything until next week. So what do? I guess I could catch up on some reading. I really, like, this is the hard part about freelance, is because, like, some days you're really busy. Like, some weeks you're just, like, penciling things in, you know, you're moving stuff around. And then sometimes you're just, like, staring into the void. And you're like, will I ever work again? That's good stuff. Also, the sun hasn't been out in LA in, like, fucking weeks. And every day, you know, it's like, I looked at my weather app and it said all the week this week was gonna be sunny, and I was so excited. I was like, finally. And it lied. Look at that. Gray as far as the eye can see. Meanwhile, my garden is just trucking along, but it's like struggling, like me. Like, it's like we're doing fine, but we're not thriving. Anyway, I'm taking another Italian class. So I'm like on my way to fluency. Parlo un po' di italiano. It's really fun. Only Ted really knows, like, how good I'm doing in Italian. And it's, like, so weird. It's like, I'll just be, like, sitting with my friends or, like, talking to my mom on the phone or something, and I'm just like, you don't even know. Okay, so first of all, my bad. I have not been good at filming this week. Okay, first of all, I'm sitting here editing this video right now. And for the longest time, I've been like, oh my god, what happened to my other clips? I've just been looking for them everywhere. I'm like, I know I filmed over 2 different days. Why am I only seeing the one? And it took me the longest time to realize I'm just in the exact same outfit. Same hairstyle, same outfit. So this could have been shot on the same day, but unfortunately it was about a week apart. Enjoy. Hang on, I have to turn on the fan. It gets so hot in here because the sun just, like, comes in, and this was, like, originally a porch. So it's just the insulation is bad. It gets really freaking hot back here. Ted wanted this to be our bedroom when we first moved in, and I'm so glad that didn't happen because I would be dying. Anyway, I just got back from the gym. I'm gonna put a little bit of makeup on and we'll chat, and I'll catch you guys up on this past week. And I have another gray hair. Look at this. You see that? Just shining, glistening. Ugh, this is really annoying because I don't like to dye my hair. Like, I probably get my hair done, like, color-wise, like, once every 2 years. Ow! Okay, clearly I've already pulled this one because it's, like, 3 inches long. Oh, I just pulled a different one. Well, do I even have tweezers over here? I don't think I Ow. They're always so much thicker than the others too. Anyway. Let me get this one too. Ow. God. Okay. So just went to the gym. We've been going to the gym together twice a week. And I actually bought a treadmill. I sold my wheel, my pottery wheel, and bought a treadmill instead because I think I'll get more use out of it right now. Like I got the wheel during quarantine when studios were closed, and now I go to the studio every week. And it's like down the street from my house. So I just don't use the wheel anymore, and it was just kind of sitting there collecting dust, and I thought, this is like a wheel that's like barely been used, and I could sell it and buy something that I will use. And so I did. And let me tell you, I've been loving my hot girl walks. Loving. Yesterday I set out to walk for 30 minutes. I was even gonna be like 25, you know? It's like, and it's in our garage, by the way. So it's like I open up the garage and then I just walk on the treadmill and I look out and like I get the breeze. It's so pleasant. And yeah, I like it better than walking like around the neighborhood because I'm like in the garage, so I'm like shaded from the sun, but I'm basically outside, and I just like watch people walk by and I look at the view and I get the breeze, but I'm still home. It's like best of both worlds. Anyway, so I find that I've been like using it more because it's like a lot easier to talk yourself into like just going into the garage than like going all the way to the gym. So I was like, I'm gonna just walk 20-25 minutes, just get a little one in. Well, I was having the best time that I walked for an hour. I'm a different person, sorry. Anyway, so we just went to the gym. I just like lifted some weights. Ugh, whatever. I haven't lifted in a long time, and so I was really weak, so I can barely lift this. But I want to tell you about this. This isn't sponsored. I'm just like obsessed with it, and I haven't shouted it from the rooftops yet. The YSL new bearskin tint. I kept seeing a lot of people like mutual content creators and such use this, and I was like, oh, that looks nice. And I wanted something like, you know, I love my Summer Fridays tint. I still do, but like as it gets warmer, I get like really, even though I'm still dry, I get like really sweaty in the summer. And when something's too dewy, dew plus sweat equals a mess. So this is more of like a natural finish, so I thought this would be good because it'll still be dewy but not overly so. And it's actually a little bit more coverage, but it's like water based. It's so nice. Every time I wear, like, this might be my wedding foundation. This is how much I love it. Because like I put it on, it just looks like skin and it looks so good. Ugh. I know. And then the guy talked me into getting this Givenchy concealer, which I didn't need, but dare I say I've been really liking it. I just do a tiny bit and then I just tap it under the eyes. I'm finding that, I don't know if it's the concealer that's really good or if it's just this new technique of literally using almost nothing, but it hasn't been creasing. So maybe it's a combo of the two, but I like it. And I feel like it'll last me forever as if I use it this way. And every time I'm like, guys, I can't buy anything. And then I'm like, look at this new thing I got. Relatable? It's a problem. Okay. Man, I'm like out of breath and hot. Okay, look at this other thing I got. This was from a few weeks ago. I just haven't shown you. Look at this blush. I showed it on TikTok. So if you follow me there, this won't be news. Can you see it? Okay, but look how good it looks. I think this might be my wedding blush too. Because I find that, like, don't you feel like cream blushes don't last? Like they just like disappear. But I still use them anyway because I don't really like powder. But this, literally, by the end of the day, this will still be looking bright and pink on my cheeks. And I am obsessed. And this combo, too, with like the tint plus the blush. Like, look how good the skin looks. And so I'm like, why do I, if it's like just because it's my wedding day, why does that mean I have to wear like boatloads of makeup, right? I just need something that looks good, that's gonna stay on. And then you just do up your eye makeup to make it look like more formal, but you don't look like you're wearing like a mask. I think I'm onto something. Okay, maybe get down, please. No, you're in my way. Okay, so I've been on the Cymbalta for, I have some breakouts, hang on. Hold the phone, I got breakouts. Been on Cymbalta for a week now. Still on Prestique, like haven't touched the Prestique, but just added 20 milligrams of Cymbalta. No side effects, it's been fine. I don't know if I noticed like a difference, which isn't unusual because it's not even a therapeutic dose, it's just like a stepping stone dose. But if anything, there's a slight improvement. So, and I don't know if it's just like the sun has come out this week because it's been so gloomy and gray, or my hot girl walks, or the Cymbalta, or a combo, I don't know. But my OCD just seems a little bit quieter, which actually is like a really good sign because that's the hardest for me to get under control, is my OCD. And I've been cooking a lot lately and like handling raw meat, and like that's usually when it really especially flares, because I constantly think I'm gonna get food poisoning. And it's been okay. So do with that what you will, but I see my doctor again on Thursday to figure out what we do next. And I think I'm gonna want to bump down, I think I want to try bumping up to 30 milligrams because that's like the lowest therapeutic dose. So again, I don't know if it'll do anything. It has in the past, but I was also on no medication. So already being on 100 milligrams of Prestique, I don't know if 30 will make a negligible difference or not, but or a noticeable difference. But I don't know if I feel comfortable. I mean, I'll see what he says, but I feel a little nervous about bumping it up while I'm still on a full dose of Prestique like this, because I don't want to like make my vagina numb, you know what I mean? Because it's like, yeah, maybe my OCD will be better, but at what cost? But anyway, so I might ask him to bump down the Prestique to 75 and bump up the Cymbalta to 30 and just take a little gander at what's going on. All right, let's do a little eyebrow. Kind of in the mood to just look like effortlessly beautiful, you know what I mean? But so far so good. Nothing to complain about, which we'll take it. But I'm definitely nervous. I don't like uncertainty. That doesn't sit well with me as someone with anxiety and OCD, if you can imagine. But because this is all, there's none of it's unknown, I haven't been super anxious. Like if I had tried a brand new medication, I would have been like, this would have been a tough week, because I would have been just like waiting for symptoms, over analyzing everything I'm feeling, waiting for the other shoe to drop, like all that stuff. But because it's so known, I'm just kind of like, oh, like a couple of times I felt like mildly nauseous, but it was like easily, like, you know, I just like drink a club soda or like eat a pretzel and it was like better. So yeah, but then I'm also like, well, it's made me nauseous in the past, so maybe that means it's not working. And there's the OCD, okay? So she's not gone. She never will be, but you know. Anyway, everything's good. But another thing I'm freaking out about is I realized, so you know our Outer Banks trip that we go on every year with Ted's family? It's in 3 weeks. Yeah. It's always like, you know, whenever I have trips on the horizon, it's always like a problem for another day. Like, you know, it's like we book it and we're like, yeah. And I just imagine like, I'll deal with that later. And then later comes and you're like, oh no. And here's the thing, I love that trip. Like, I love that trip. It's the best time. It's so relaxing. But, you know, it's a bit of a trek to get to. Like, there's no connecting flight. So we have to fly, we have to do a layover to Norfolk, and then we have to rent a car and drive 2 hours to the Outer Banks. So it's a bit of a trek to get there, so that causes some anxiety. But do my eyebrows look okay? I feel like I haven't filled them in a long time, and now when I do, I feel like I look like Bert and Ernie or something. But that might just be me. Anyway, I just like when things are like over a month away, because that feels long. And then when it's less than that, I know it's gonna fly by and it's coming and I'm gonna have to deal with it. And it's like with also in the midst of like doing the medication stuff. I'm scared. This eyeshadow doesn't go with this blush. Does it? Anyway, I don't think I want to put mascara on. I'm just gonna curl my lashes. I really want a lash lift. Add it to the list. Golly. Hi, Mabes. Hi. She's so cute and annoying. I'm obsessed with her. Alright, let's put a little powder. You know what? Let's not. Oh, but Hourglass sent me these new things. Oh yeah, remember we opened them up together? Wait, did we? Maybe we didn't. Anyway, they're really fun. They're like, what are they called? Oh, they're not, the name's not on here, but they look like this. They're like a little balm. It's basically like the Tarte maracuja things. It's literally that. But I think I like these better. Oh, that really melted. Maybe I shouldn't have them sitting here by the window. That's a thought. That's certainly a thought. And now it's in my mouth. But how pretty. That one's called Desire. None of it matches. The bright blush, that's hard. It's hard to get a good match like that. But I'll figure it out. Anyway, I just haven't really been doing much. What else is new? Nothing like super exciting anyway. Just like reading, taking my Italian class, which, okay, I'm getting a lot better at Italian. I'm really impressing myself. But here's the thing, is that like I thought when I like kind of continued education, I was not a good student growing up. You know, I had like a lot of mental health stuff and problem with paying attention, and like teachers didn't like me. You know, we've talked about this. Anyway, so it's kind of exciting that I was like, okay, now that I'm like in my 30s, I'll have like a different experience and I'll get to be like the star student that, you know, I always wanted to be and couldn't. Well, guess what? It's like all these years later and I'm still the same student I ever was. Although my teacher doesn't not like me. Like, I think she likes me. She's very nice. But I still don't do my homework. I still have trouble paying attention in class. You know, she calls on me and I don't know what's going on, and I'm like embarrassed. Anyway, it's not that I'm not paying attention. It's just that like it's hard for me to pay attention sometimes, and my mind starts wandering. Or like she'll explain something. She'll be like, okay, so this is what we're gonna do in this exercise, da da da, and my brain just like doesn't follow that. And so the way I learn is by like watching a few people do the lesson, and then I notice the pattern and I'm like, okay, this is what we're doing, and that's how I learn. And so she'll like call on me second person in, and I'm like, I haven't been able to establish a pattern. I don't know what we're doing. And then it's embarrassing to be like, oh, I don't know, you know. And she is very nice and patient. It's like, oh, we're doing this with, you have to like, I just leave it, and Ted will be like, how was your class? I'm like, I think I'm stupid. It just makes me feel dumb. But it is literally learning a new language, so I think I'll cut myself some slack. But it really makes me feel for people who are ESL and like living in America and like as immigrants, and it's like, God, it's so hard, and it's like makes you feel so dumb. But it is exciting when you start like picking things up and you start realizing like, oh, I know what that person said, and, you know. Anyway, but yeah, I had my class yesterday, and of course there's always got to be like the person in class who knows everything, and then you're next and you're like, I don't know what we're doing. But I'm so good when I'm by myself, you know what I mean? It's like I can like really speak it, and then like the second I'm in class or someone asks me, it's like everything I know goes out the window. Anyway, so doing that, yeah, I just feel like, I don't know, life's just like not that interesting for me right now, but I have no complaints. Yikes. Okay, so that was quite a story, wasn't it? I realized I never ended this vlog because I thought that I never have any concept of like how long they are, and then I think I'm gonna like keep filming another day, but now I'm editing this and it's long, it's a longie, but you guys do always say you like those, so you better you better be watching this right now. Let me know in the comments if you're catching the end. No, that's really okay. This is like a feature length vlog, but I'm just letting you know I'm ending it here, and I'll just go right on starting the next one. Okay, say bye maybe. See you in my next video.